Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be talking to you about Cold War Zombies, the biggest leaks yet. Shout out to Nanicos, Countryman Games, Prototype Warehouse, and he's also credited Matt, or the Gaming Revolution, within this post. All of this link will be down below in the description. This way you guys can view the entire blog post for itself, read everything extremely in depth. But we're going to be going over, and I'm going to essentially be reading everything to you guys and kind of explaining and breaking things down if you're a little bit confused. But he did do a pretty dang good job at making it extremely relatable to people who don't necessarily or usually understand stuff like this. So yeah, Cold War Zombies, the biggest leak yet. This is your spoiler alert. I'm making one video covering this and one video only. I think that some leaks are good, some leaks aren't so great, but regardless, I think that this is pretty fair. This way you guys can get a general understanding of the game, and I will also, of course, have tutorials, the most elite guides for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Zombies, as you guys already know, covering you on everything you need to know once the game drops. Of course, explaining all these even more in depth once we have the final build of the game, because stuff already from one stage of the game to the next has changed. I can already confirm that. I literally have seen it change before my eyes. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. Actually, no, very quickly, twitch.tv/JoeMatt123. I stream zombies every single night on Twitch. You guys are growing absolutely insane. Thank you so much for that. But yes, make sure to check out Twitch down below in the description. Of course, that'll be under this Reddit post in the description, as well as any other important links down below in the description. And yeah, let's jump right into the video now. Okay, so one thing that he does go on to note is that some of the stuff in here may make you feel really concerned about Cold War Zombies. Remember that none of these leaks are coming from actual playtime, so they don't really have actual opinions on this stuff, and we don't know. This is something I try to express to you guys a lot. We don't know how a lot of the stuff, even if it sounds really good, even if it sounds bad, of course, right? But even if it sounds really good, you just don't know how all the stuff is going to interact with each other in game. So all I'm saying is stay positive, but you know, don't be blindly positive, or if you're negative, don't be blindly negative. Be open and ready to try the game before you shit on it or absolutely adore it. You must try it in order to form an opinion. Anyways, the first category we have up here are the character names. So we have Dmitriev, Kalashnik. Oh, these names are hard. I don't know why they decided to do this. I don't know what was wrong with Edward Richtofen, Takiya, you know, they were so simple. But anyways, this is something I can comment on, right? But we have Dmitriev, Kalashnik, Orlov, Medved, Vogel Kurtz, there we go, Valen Peck, Dr. William Peck. Those were some simpler names. The first one was very complicated. And what they say is they only know the names. They don't know anything about them. They don't know any backstories, and I'm happy that he said here, even if he did, he wouldn't go on to spoil it. So I'm happy that I am seeing this more so now, that a lot of people in the leak community are at least having a sense of feel for the people that are receiving these leaks, because they know that some surprises are meant to be surprises and some are not. And one thing I want to note is that we have no idea who these characters are. We have not heard of them yet. We don't know why they're here. All we've heard is that operators are actually playable in Cold War Zombies, and rather no set crews. But I also told you guys that I wouldn't be surprised if we did have a set crew of a few people, and that if they wanted to incorporate the operators within Warzone, we can. Just like World War II Zombies, we had the set crew with those 4 characters right there, and then on top of that, you also had other characters, not only that you can play as, but that you can also unlock within the Zombies mode itself, which just added another level of depth. So I'm very excited about this, because maybe in the future, aside from this main crew and aside from the operators, we may even be able to, you know, go ahead and earn other operators or characters within the Zombies game mode. Okay, so now we're going to move into operator mods, or sorry, ammo mods. And these ammo mods are the rebranded name for alternate ammo types, AATs. This time around, there's Cryofreeze, which is a frost damage that slows down enemies like Black Ops 4 Zombies, Dead Wire, that deals electrical damage and stuns the enemies, as you guys already know from Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4 Zombies, respectively, these two already. Napalm Blast, which of course is pretty much Blast Furnace, fire damage and burn zombies, and then the final one right now is Brain Rot. It turns a zombie to an ally. And these are the 4 right now, and I should note that at least from what I have seen, these are actually present within kind of like the main menu of the game, or somewhere in the zombies menus of the game, and we're going to kind of discuss that in a second. But let me just finish reading this first. When pack-a-punching, you actually have the ability to choose exactly what AAT you want. No more RNG to get what you want, which is awesome. Again, when pack-a-punching your weapon, there is no more RNG with getting your AAT. You pick the AAT that you want, and maybe that's in part why it was kind of present on the main menu. But there are also going to be upgrades, different levels, just like the perks, to these AATs this time around. So I wanted you to note that ammo mods within Cold War Zombies are now just the alternate ammo types that you are accustomed to within Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4 Zombies. Within BO3 they were OP, within Black Ops 4 they were extremely balanced. So now this time around, hopefully they find a balance of the balance. This way they're not trash, and this way they're not too OP like BO3, although I did love those and most people love those more. It's just something that I personally believe I should throw out there. But yeah, we'll end off once again with saying for the 3rd time, when pack-a-punching your weapon, I'm emphasizing this because this is huge, you actually have have the ability to choose exactly what alternate ammo type you want. No more RNG required. You will get exactly what you want the second you pack a punch, or at least the second you have the opportunity to get an AAT, we'll say. Okay, so now we're going to be moving into the next section, which is field upgrades. I don't know why my mouth stopped working, but field upgrades. Field upgrades are the rebranded name for specialist weapons within Cold War Zombies, and they work on a time-based recharge system unlike BO4, meaning kills, points, stuff like that are not the same. But yeah, they are also not offensive. Well, actually, I'm not sure if kills are going to be contributed to it. Also, keep in mind that, again, this is a pre-launch version of the game that was kind of like data mined, but it does not necessarily mean, say for example, kills didn't count towards a specialist earning. It doesn't mean that in the final build it won't be counted towards. You know what I'm saying? Because stuff already, as I've told you in the beginning, has shifted greatly from one build to the next. I know I'm beating around the bush right now, but I just don't want to get, not that I would get anybody in trouble, but I would like to respect the boundaries that have been given to me. But yeah, stuff has changed from one build to another, and this could very well be the case, but right now they say they work on a time-based recharge system, period, unlike BO4, period, and then he also goes on to say that they are not all offensive, and we're going to get to that right now. Some are also support-based, and there is currently 6 different confirmed field upgrades or specialist weapons once again, and I think it's important to note that it most likely will be equipable pre-game. Now, I don't want you to, I know that I was somebody who was extremely vocal about this and said that I really wanted the specialist to be buildable within each map, but it's kind of, I'm starting to kind of see why these aren't, because some of these are just abilities, and it would be weird to build a whole ability in each map. So maybe, who knows, maybe on top of these, there would be some, well, I mean, we do have score streaks and stuff like that within zombies now, so it is a little bit different. There will be stuff that you're still going for and grinding for, you know what I mean? So, although I personally argued that I wanted specialists to be buildable within each map, because it would add to the depth of each map, and those would then be used within the Easter eggs for each map, just like within BO3 zombies. We had the Gauntlet of Siegfried on Gorod Krovi, that was used, that was buildable and used in the Easter egg. Zetsubo the Skull was used directly in the Easter egg. I believe, well, the Ragnaraks, yes, the Ragnaraks were also used in Horizon Drak and Shadows of Evil, the sword, and so on and so forth. All the specialist weapons, for the most part, in the main Black Ops 3 zombies maps were used for something, and I felt like that was a huge sense of progression. But this time around, it does not seem like, again, on the same level of BO4 now, it's going to be that specialists are buildable. They will be in your inventory from the beginning of the game. But again, I don't think it matters all too much, just because of the fact that there's going to be a lot more depth to zombies now, that you're going to be able to build different things and do different things within the zombies mode itself, like for example craft score streaks or special equipment, or at least acquire those, you know what I'm saying? So now let me read you the field upgrades. So the first field upgrade is the Ether Shroud. It essentially acts like an in plain sight, and it lasts for 5 seconds. Now next we have the Ring of Fire. It's a ring that shows up that boosts damage inside for everyone, and it can burn some enemies from entering. And that one probably sounds very familiar. I forgot what it was called in World War II zombies, but if you guys remember, there was a circle that when you pop the specialist, the circle kind of popped around you, and this one's kind of similar to that. Again, it's called Ring of Fire, and it's a ring that shows up around the character that boosts damage inside for everybody within this circle, and it can also burn some enemies while entering. Next, we have Healing Aura. This is the third one, and it's to heal yourself and teammates to full health within the area. So I'm assuming that just like Ring of Fire would have some kind of radius on all sides around you, this one wouldn't show the circle, but within a given radius, if you activate this, maybe if you're all low on health, you can give yourself full health. Next, we have Frost Blast. It's a wind blast of frost damage that slows zombies down too. Okay, next we have Energy Mine, which is just a proximity mine. And he also goes on to note that the Energy Mine and Ether Shroud field upgrades were both showcased in the initial zombies reveal trailer. You can also see the Frost Blast field upgrade in the first look video. So I think what he's referencing is, if you guys remember back to the trailer, you'll probably see it on your stream, because I'll probably be playing the trailer throughout this video, but you'll notice that one guy was kind of blue. He was holding, it looked like a war machine or some kind of big gun in his hand, but he was blue, and it looked like he was wearing some kind of invisibility cloak. That was one of the specialist weapons or specialist abilities right there. But yeah, and they also showed off the Energy Mine in the trailer when the guy was holding the XM4 and he kind of shot something onto the floor with his left hand. It looked like a nail gun almost. That was actually an Energy Mine, which is essentially a proximity mine in this game, but I'm sure since it's a specialist, it'll be a lot more powerful. And the final thing he goes on to note in this section is that there are 3 other field upgrades mentioned in the code. These are Lightning Links, Toxic Growth, and Frenzy Guard. He's unsure whether these will be released at launch or if they're going to be saved for DLC, and I'm also assuming that we don't know what they do since they're just in the code and there's not much about them. Okay, so the next thing we're going to be moving into now is the perks. So the perks within the game right now at this point is Quick Revive, Juggernog, Speed Cola, Stamina Up, Deadshot, Elemental Pop, and Wonder Fizz. Oh my gosh, my throat just died. But yes, those 6 perks, right? QR, Jug, Speed Cola, Stamina Up, Deadshot, Elemental Pop. Yes, we have 6 main base core perks on the map, as well as an additional Dirt Wonder Fizz, which I'm assuming is going to also give us maybe some kind of new perks or some kind of advantage to using, because we're going to already be able to earn all the perks on the map. So I'm very interested to see why Wonder Fizz is listed here. But what I can say is that from one of my sources, I actually saw a shot of the main menu, and all 6 perks were listed there. These were the same 6 perks. However, there has been one change. But let's just continue to read on with the post. He says, note, Jug might be a little OP in this game. We're going to get into that in a second. And QR also gives you a self-revive, and then he believes it's going to be a stim shot. Next thing up, we're moving into is, what is it? Oh, okay, so the first perk, sorry, my bad. I'm just reading through this as we go on. Again, the post will be down below in the description if you want to read along with this, is Elemental Pop. So Elemental Pop is exactly what I told you guys that it would be like. It's going to essentially be this game's version of Change Choose from IW Zombies. Basically exactly how everyone expected it to work. It activates a random ammo mod, or AAT. So basically, again, just Treyarch's version of Change Choose from IW Zombies, which I'm very, very excited about, because again, maybe you don't want to just get Deadwire, just get Blast Furnace. You kind of have the opportunity to use all of them within one sitting on the same weapon. And I'm sure once the game comes out, that'll be fleshed out a little bit more, as well as with the perk upgrades and stuff. But yeah, that's Elemental Pop. Now, one thing that I do note is that we do not have the upgrades for each and every single perk listed to us right now. Meaning, for example, Juggernog. Juggernog is going to have multiple upgrades, but we don't have each and every single level of Juggernog available to us. But we do have a Stamina Up, and that's the one I want to focus on in specific, and that we will focus on in a second. But yes, just wanted to note that we don't have each and every single perk upgrade. Rather, actually listed here is only Stamina Up, which works directly along the lines with what I'm going to tell you in just a sec. But before we do move into that, the next section on here is ammo crates, and there's a reason why I'm jumping over the perk discussion. I just wanted to go over the 4 perks and the 6 perks in the game, as well as the fact that a Wonder Fizz was back, to discuss Jug, that it's going to be back, but there's also going to be some additions to it. And I wanted to go over Elemental Pop. Now we're going to move into ammo crates, and then the next section we'll go over, kind of dip into perks again, kind of like indirectly, or actually directly. But anyways, moving into it, we have ammo crates next. They are just boxes around the map, and they refill your ammo. The cost to replenish ammo depends on how many times you have pack punch your weapon, up to max of 3. And as you can probably see within a few of the trailers for Cold War Zombies, there are indeed ammo crates strategically placed throughout the map. This way, if you guys need some ammo, you can run up to the crate just like in Warzone. Maybe you need a stim shot or a self-revive or something like that. You can run up to the crate and get yourself some ammo. And this is another important thing to note, is that it's seeming like Zombies, the traditional Black Ops 3 style Zombies mode, and Warzone are kind of blending together in a sense to make this mode more vibrant and kind of diverse as possible, but also being as familiar as possible, which is a really, really cool direction. I'm respecting the way it's going. Again, we're gonna have to wait to see how it works out in game. I'm very excited for it, but I just wanted to note that there are some mechanics that you'll notice right off the bat that are coming from Warzone into Zombies, and most likely vice versa. But anyways, the next thing up here, and this is kind of where we're going to start to dive into back into perks, at least, it's runes. Okay, so Nanako's notes, runes are the biggest innovation to come to the latest Zombies mode, the absolute biggest. Runes act as a fully new upgrade system. You can use the new rune system to upgrade AATs, perks, field upgrades, and weapon classes. That's right, I just want you to kind of think about what I said here. Your alternate ammo types, meaning Deadwire, will be upgradable. Perks, of course, we already know will be upgradable. Field upgrades, or specialist weapons, that is, will be upgradable. And specific weapon classes like ARs, tactical rifles, sniper rifles, LMGs, SMGs, shotguns, pistols, and melee weapons, those will all be upgradable via runes. And each individual perk within the game, AAT, field upgrade, and weapon class, has 3 different upgrades. And at one point, this was 5. This was 5. I've seen it with my own eyes. This was 5 upgrades at a time. What exactly they cut out within each individual perk upgrade, I guess if perk, field, AAT, all upgrades, we'll never exactly know. But for the most part, what I can definitely tell you guys is that there were 5 upgrades at a certain point in time for each one of these things. And Nanakos also goes on to note this here, which totals up to a whopping of 72 upgrades that can be unlocked in Zombies. Now, I'm going to read through this. Actually, I'm just going to state this right now. I don't know if each of these is per game or if it's going to be in the main menus. You know, for example, how you can level up in Zombies and then earn or unlock certain classic gobblegums previously in a game like Black Ops 3 Zombies. You would level up and then you would unlock certain gobblegums as you went through the levels, and once you reach 35, you get Alchemical Antithesis. Well, I wonder if it's like this again, that you upgrade each and every single perk by using it, each and every single weapon by using it, each and every single field upgrade by using it, or if that's per game. And I would certainly assume that maybe some of these will be upgradable mid-game, like field upgrades, for example, and and that some of them would only be upgradable throughout your zombies experience, meaning that once you go in again, it will be upgraded to level 3. For example, I think we can already assume that weapons will have well, we already know that weapons have levels within the game, so those will be upgradable throughout each and every single game you play. So for example, you can start with an AR on level 1, right, in your first game you play, and maybe you'll use it throughout that whole game. You get to level 5. When you go into the next game, it'll still be level 5. Now, something like the AATs, I'd also assume would be the same exact thing, or could be the same exact thing, in that maybe once you use a certain AAT so many times, the next time you go into your zombies game, you can equip that level 3 upgrade, and you'd then be able to take advantage of all the benefits of the AAT upgrades. But like I said, we still have to wait till the final copy of the game to see exactly how this works, what's upgradable in the main menu, or maybe all of this is upgradable in the main menu, or what's upgradable in game, and maybe, who knows, maybe all of it's upgradable mid-game, but I doubt that. I can definitely see, for example, some certain things, like I already told you, weapon classes being upgradable from each game, or not within each game, but overall in your zombies experience, and some stuff like maybe even perk upgrades be upgradable within each game itself. For example, maybe you spend a certain amount of points, that upgrades stamina up to level 2, and then to level 3, and stuff like that. But again, we'll have to wait and see. That stuff has not been fleshed out yet. We don't know exact details right now. But moving into it, here's an example of the 3 different perk upgrades, and we're not exactly sure if this is going to be the final upgrades, because as we said at one point in time, there were 5 different upgrades to each thing. And what I can say is that, of course, that since there were 4 or 5 levels to stamina, there were different abilities here, but I'm going to read you levels 1, 2, and 3. So the level 1 stamina would be movement impairing effects reduced by 50%, meaning if you run and stuff like that or whatever, you will continue to run for longer and a little bit quicker. That's why your movement impairment, meaning your kind of drawbacks to running for a longer period of time, your cooldown time, I guess, is reduced by 50%. That's some weird wording, but yeah, basically you won't get tired as quick and you will run faster. I don't know why that was so complicated, but anyways, level 2, no fall damage. Okay, interesting. What's that sound like, my friends? That sounds like PhD. Third, you can run while ADS. That's just an example of 3 different upgrades for stamina up itself, but again, there were more at a certain point in time, so who knows, maybe they'll combine another level with an additional level. So for example, level 3, maybe they'll combine that with completely unlimited sprint, and so on and so forth, but we're gonna have to wait and see. I just wanted to give you an example of how these perk upgrades could work. So for example, you'd start with the base perk that you know and love, and then over time, as you upgrade the perk, again, whether that is through the zombies main menus as you use the perk more and more, just like a weapon, or whether that's from game to game within each game itself, you will be able to earn different abilities. Like for example, again, in level 2, it states no fall damage. Level 3, max level, you can run while ADS, while of course taking advantage of the previous 2 perks of the perk on the other 2 levels. Wow, this is getting really confusing. But anyways, I think you get what I mean. Each perk has levels, and as you level up, you'll be able to take advantage not only of the current level, but the previous levels as part of the current level. Still very confusing, but wow, I think you get my point. Next up, we have an example of the Ether Shroud, a specialist or field upgrade, and how that could be upgraded. This weapon says that players enter the ether and is ignored by enemies. It lasts 5 seconds. And the level 1 upgrade to this says that activation instantly reloads your weapon. Level 2 increases the duration of your specialist kind of uptime to 8 seconds from 5. And then level 3, it warps up to 500 units in front of you. Now, I have no clue what that means, but I'm assuming that it would, I have no clue what the hell that would mean. But anyways, that's an example of the Ether Shroud field upgrade, and how kind of the different levels on it would work, just as the field upgrade, just as the perk upgrade levels would work respectively within Cold War Zombies. I give you that example with stamina. Now we have an example of the field upgrade in the Ether Shroud. And then on that note, he actually has a link, and he says, and it's the full upgrade list of AATs, field upgrades, and perks. So we're going to actually read through all of this right now. So what I recommend, if you don't care about this and you just care about the other details in the game, that you skip over this, which I'll try to leave a timestamp on your screen right now if I can, but if not, just kind of skip through this. And yeah, we're going to be going over each and every single field upgrade, alternate ammo type, and stuff like that, all the upgrades. So yeah, first thing he says, disclaimer, the only upgrades not mentioned here is weapon classes. I only know the upgrades for one of them, and he says, I believe the upgrades for this is the same for every other weapon class. Another thing to note is that these upgrades are not in order from 1 to 3. So I'm going to be listing stuff here out for you guys, but we don't know in what order the levels are going to be. We don't know all the details. For example, again, we don't know how weapon classes are going to be upgradable and what exactly that's going to entail. So that, I guess that's the final thing we really have to know, but that's that right there. Let's jump into it. These are the ammo mod upgrades, or AATs. So the first one we have up here is Cryofreeze. Enemies are slowed down more, they take more damage, and there's slow duration. So I don't know what that means, but enemies slow down more, they take more damage, and there's slow duration, which I guess I'm assuming it just generally slows them down for the longer period of time. I guess that's what that means. So for example, if you shoot them and they, Cryofreeze activates, they'll be slowed down down, for example, at one level for 5 seconds instead of 3 seconds. You know what I mean? That's just an example right there. Next up, we have Deadwire. There's a longer stun with one of the upgrades. There's another one. The next level could give you double the damage, and another level can chain the effect for more zombies with a Wonder Waff-like effect. Wow. I just added in Wonder Waff-like effect onto this, but I mean, that's what that sounds like. It can chain the effect to more zombies, which sounds awesome. Next, we have Napalm Burst, which a lot of you already know as Blast Furnace, and one level increase the effect duration, meaning that the fire will last for longer, meaning that it'll burn zombies for longer, and then just like Deadwire, it'll double the damage on the Napalm Burst. Then the final, at this point in time, ammo mod is Brain Rot, and explodes on death, of course, just like any Brain Rot would. Well, I guess maybe the regular, I guess there's going to be a regular version of this, and then there's going to be level 1, level 2, level 3, so I'm assuming you may actually just start in level 0. I could be wrong about that, but anyways, Brain Rot, one of the levels explodes on death, another one doubles the damage just like the previous two, and it increases the duration in the next level. Okay, so that's really awesome. Those sound pretty promising. I'm very excited for that for sure. Next up, we have field upgrades or specialist. So the first one up here is the Ether Shroud. Activation instantly reloads your weapon, as I already told you. The next level could increase your duration to 8 seconds, which we already know is 5 seconds currently. And then the third level can warp up to 500 units in front of you. Again, don't really know what that means. Next, we have Frost Blast. 1, it can last a little bit longer once you activate it. 2, it can carry a second charge. And I'm going to probably make another video just talking to you exactly about AATs and how they can be implemented, as well as going over everything again if we get more information about them, or AATs, specialists, all the upgrades themselves. But I just wanted to include everything within this leak for you guys in one video. But anyways, again, Frost Blast, it can last longer with one upgrade. The second upgrade, you can carry a second charge of your Frost Blast. Then the third upgrade, you can double the size and damage of the blast. And I believe if I remember, oh no, so that's not Energy Mount. Okay, so that's Frost Blast. Okay, cool. Next, we have Healing Aura. All players gain a short regen healing effect. Knocks down enemy, that's level 1, that's one of the levels. The second level is it knocks down enemies nearby and stuns special/elite, which I'm assuming would be big bosses. And then third, you can revive allies in the area, I'm assuming also instantly. So for example, say one of your teammates is down, one of you is low health, and maybe you're low health, and you're all kind of like within a very close proximity to each other. You can activate this, it'll stun the zombie, and it'll knock down some of the zombies, stun others, and revive your teammate and give you guys full health. Now, I'm not sure if that's exactly how it's going to do once you reach, or exactly what it's going to do once you reach level 3, maybe a little bit more nerf than that, but regardless, that still sounds really cool. Next up, we have Ring of Fire, and you can, the one level is a double burn effect. The second, or of course, like I told you guys, I'm assuming that this one is the one that you're standing in a ring around the floor, that I'm also assuming that you move with this ring, so as you move, you keep the same radius of the ring around you, and the first level would be double the burn effect. So if zombies burn while entering that ring, they'll be burned double that once you have this level 1 upgrade, or whichever level this is. The next one is ammo is taken from the stock in it ring. So this sounds like something like stock option, like the Gobblegum from Black Ops 3 zombies. I'm not exactly sure, but again, this one is ammo is taken from stock in the ring. Oh, so maybe it's just a ring that you put down on the floor and you have to run in and out. That's what this makes it sound like, but okay. Next, ring blocks projectiles. Wow, so if there's a boss, for example, you even saw in one of the trailers, there's a poison boss that kind of shoots something at you. If you're within this ring, it sounds like that it's actually going to block that projectile towards you. That sounds really cool. Next, we have the Energy Mine specialist weapon. It doubles the blast size from this Energy Mine, which I believe this is the C4 kind of trip mine kind of thing that's within the game. But anyways, this specialist thing, this specialist weapon within the level 1 upgrade doubles the blast size, or I'm just assuming level 1. I'm just going through the list in order that they have it. They say that the levels are not within the exact order they are within the game, so keep that in mind. The next level, there could be 2 explosions instead of 1. So for example, if you put down 1 trip mine, I'm just using this in terms of trip mine to make it more understandable, but you put down 1 basically circular thing on the floor, instead of having 1 blast, you'll have 2. This way it'll be more effective. Of course, you can also have double the blast damage or double the blast size with one of the other upgrades. And the third possible upgrade to this, or one of the other level upgrades to this, is that you can carry 3 charge upgrades, or carry 3 charges, so you can probably throw down 3 different energy mines. The reason why I'm kind of stuttering around here a little bit is that some of this, although it's definitely new information, and of course I'm a little bit confused by it, it's also that it's laid out a little weirdly, and that's not to discredit Nanocoats or anyone else who helped to work on this. I'm just saying that it's just, you know, just a little bit out of the ordinary. Do not expect to wake up and just see this laid out here. But anyways, next up we have Perk Machines, and we actually do have all the upgrades for all the perks here. I did not notice this the first time I read through this post, but anyways, we have Stamina. Let's start off with that. So again, one of the levels of stamina up is that movement impairing effects reduced by 50%, meaning basically you can run for longer, faster, for a longer period of time. One of the next levels of stamina up is that you can reduce the amount of fall damage you have, which of course is a PhD-esque effect, not to full capacity, but that's the PhD-esque effect. Next, we have that you can run while ADS. Next perk up is Elemental Pop, and this is to reduce the AAT cooldown. That's the first level of it. The next possible level is AAT uses current upgrade tier instead of base. So I'm not exactly sure what this means. If the ammo mods are upgradable, then I'm assuming that you would always use that. Well, I guess maybe, okay, so let's just read the third level to this is that equipment can now be, equipment can now have the AAT occur. Okay, so if you're using an equipment, there will be some kind of AAT from it, which sounds really, really cool. Again, there's some fine details that may need to be worked out, but the reason why I got confused here is it says AAT uses current upgrade tier instead of base. So this right now makes me believe that the ammo mods are upgradable within the main menu of the game. For example, like I said, just like your weapons would be, or not necessarily upgradable. That's where you'd see that reflected, and they're not per game. For example, you spend 5,000 points your weapons pack, once you have an AAT, and then you can spend an additional 3,000 and get another AAT. Rather, it just seems like the ammo mods are going to be upgradable. Just the more you use it, just like a weapon, you can upgrade it from level 1 to 5 over time. As you use an AAT, you can level it up from 1 to 3. Again, that's not 100% confirmed, but that's what this makes this sound like, because it's what this sounds like is that Elemental Pop, as we stated earlier, is kind of like a perk of rotating AATs, like Chain Shoes from IW. So by it saying it doesn't use its base, this probably means that with this upgrade, it uses whatever upgrade level you have in your loadout within your main zombies, account. So for example, say I'm level 50 and I have, Brain Rot upgraded to the max level, and I have Deadwire upgraded to level 2. Once I upgrade Elemental Pop to its respective level in which I can take advantage of the AAT uses current upgrade tier, once I hit that level in game with that perk or whatever it may be, I will take advantage of that specific AAT level. So say it's the first day Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Zombies comes out. I go in, I buy AAT, I buy Elemental Pop. All my AAT cycling with that will be their base versions of it. And then maybe say I come out of the game and I see that my AAT, okay, Deadwire was upgraded to level 2. If I then jump back into a zombies game and I see that, and I buy Elemental Pop, right, and I get Deadwire to activate, then Deadwire will not be level 2. It'll actually be level 1. It'll still be its base version, even though it's upgraded to level 2. And the reason for that is I need to upgrade Elemental Pop. And once I upgrade Elemental Pop to this level in which AAT uses the current upgrade tier instead of the base upgrade tier, it will then take full advantage of the current level that I've gotten on my ammo mod or AAT. I know this may sound very confusing, but once the game comes out, I'll make more videos kind of fleshing this out. And I may even make another video right now kind of fleshing this out and explaining it and explaining everything even more in depth. But hopefully that was clear enough to you guys. Maybe it wasn't, but I think I did a decent job at least explaining it for something that's completely brand new. And again, I'll try to have more videos, a few of them, explaining everything as in depth as possible. Next, we have Juggernog. Armor plates give more armor. Okay, interesting. Juggernog, the first level to Juggernog, the first or one of the first levels. We don't know again in what order the levels are going to be because he stated that they don't know that yet, but he says that armor plates give more armor. So we're assuming that Juggernog automatically increases the amount of health that you have, but also there's going to be armor plates within this game that you'll be able to equip just like Warzone that on top of your base health gives you some additional health. Hopefully this is not like the World War II zombie system in which you have to, continually get armor if you get hit more than 2 times and it takes away one of your armor plates. Hopefully armor is just stacked on top of Juggernog. Next thing though that they say is that the next upgrade could reduce the status effects duration, meaning, or at least what I'd assume this would mean, is that Juggernog takes less time to kind of re-heal you, and then the next level here, I'm assuming that this is going to be max level, is that you increase health by 100 more, or maybe this is actually the first level. This is what I'm saying. Maybe this is the actual first level of Juggernog. Maybe the first level increases your health by 100 more, then the next level allows you to use armor plates, and then the third level reduces the status effects duration, meaning maybe you regen your health a little bit quicker. I don't really know. The second one doesn't make too much sense, but from what I'm gathering here is that level 1 to Juggernog will increase the health by 100 more. That just makes the most sense, but those are the 3 upgrades to Juggernog. Next up, let's move into Speed Cola. Okay, so Speed Cola, the first level, is even faster reload, which of course is the typical ability of Speed Cola. Next, Field Upgrade Recharge Faster. Okay, very interesting. So we're seeing a sense of speed in more than just your weapon reload. And then the next area that Speed Cola upgrades help you out in is that or at least the third level or first level, however the heck this is going to be laid out, is that you can swap weapons faster. Very, very cool. Next up, we have Deadshot Daiquiri. First level, or again, just within this list, again, there are no specific order, I have to keep noting that, is Reduce Hipfire Spread. Very interesting. That's actually an awesome ability, which will help out PC players as well. Next, Higher Damage to Armored Enemies, which is really cool, kind of a double tap-esque effect. And then the next one is Damage Fall Off is Decreased. All sound really, really awesome. Next, we have Quick Revive, and this is the final perk in this category. Crawl Faster when down. That's level 1. That's actually really cool. And level 2, Start to regain health faster. Okay, really, really awesome. So I guess that completely eliminates what I said about Juggernog level 2. So I guess Juggernog level 2, we'll have to wait and see what that exactly means. But anyways, Quick Revive level 2, Start to regen health faster. Level 3, Go to full health after a successful revive. So this is essentially that when you down, instead of kind of slowly regenerating your health back to full health, you'll immediately pop right back up to full health. And I don't know why they noted this, because this just seems like a base ability of Quick Revive. And again, maybe this is level 1, and that's just, you know, as soon as you buy Quick Revive, that's what happens. And what Nanicos also does is he provides an additional example of weapon classes, and he says he believes this applies to basically every other class as well. So shotguns, plus 5% base damage would be an example of an upgrade, plus 10% CQB damage, and then plus 15, and he doesn't know what CQB is, I guess, or plus 10% damage, it just says. He's assuming that it means CQB. Oh, wait, I don't know, close quarter, maybe that means close quarter, I have no clue what that means, but plus 10% damage, and then plus another 15% base damage. So I don't know why there's 3 different levels that say base damage, but anyways, again, what we can gather from this is that maybe if you rank up all your shotguns, we're also assuming that there's going to be different camos and stuff like that. Maybe after a certain point in time, right, after you start using all your weapons, maybe say after you get the gold camo on that class, you will be able to continually earn more damage for your class. So maybe you use all your shotguns, and once you reach a certain level on all your shotguns, that gives you an extra 5% base damage. Oh, my bad. I think that's just the 3 different levels of upgrades. My bad. So yeah, one level would be 5%, one level would be 10%, and then another level would be 15%. Of course, this is all aside from pack-a-punching, weapon rarity, and other levels within the game. So again, it does seem like, especially when you combine this with Quick Revive and the other perk upgrades, that this is going to be the most overpowered player experience ever before, which sounds really, really cool. But getting back to what I was talking to you guys about a while ago, this was runes, and again, we mentioned how runes was the biggest innovation to come to the zombies mode. You can upgrade through runes, each individual perk, AAT, field upgrade, weapon class, and they all have 3 upgrades. And I gave you an example of stamina up, the Ether Shroud, as well as I read to you all of the upgrades in the game, from perks to field upgrades and stuff like that. And now they go on to say that you can unlock these upgrades using the currency Aetherium. It costs 1 Aetherium for the first tier, 2 for the second and third tier for 3 Aetherium, totaling up to 432 Aetherium total to max out all upgrade. This should provide a real grind this year to the zombies experience. And from what I'm gathering from this, maybe it's some kind of perma unlock token to some extent, who knows. But next he says, okay, maybe not. Aetherium is earned, oh, maybe it is. Aetherium is earned just by playing the game, and there are 2 types of Aetheriums according to the code, raw and flawless. Okay, so maybe it's more along the lines of Divinium, but you're gonna find out why it's not exactly like Divinium in a second. Spoiler alert, there is no Gobblegums. Anyways, I'm not sure how exactly they relate to each other, meaning he doesn't know how raw and flawless Aetherium relate to each other. His best guess is you earn X amount of raw Aetherium from playing the game, similar to Divinium like Black Ops 3, and then after you hit a certain amount, for example, let's just say 10, you can turn that 10 raw Aetherium into 1 flawless Aetherium, which you can then use to upgrade the level of your AAT, your perk, your field upgrade, your weapon class, etc. Just an interesting thing there, again, that is just somebody's best guess, but it's important to note that there's Aetherium and raw and flawless Aetherium in that there's 3 different upgrades for perks and field upgrades, totaling for a whopping 72 upgrades within the zombies game mode, and this is all part of runes. This game is extremely in-depth, if you couldn't tell already. Next up, we have Wonder Weapon. So the DIE, or Die, is the Wonder Weapon on Die Machina, or sorry, D Machina. It has 4 upgrade types. Basically, think of the Kraken from Black Ops 4 Zombies. Now you can change the ammo types on it. So for example, you can have an element, you can have an electric Kraken, a fire Kraken, an ice Kraken, stuff like that. That's kind of like the way they're going with this DIE. The 4 ammo types for the DIE are Nitro Steam, Particle Beam, Plasma Ball, and Gas Cloud. Another Wonder Weapon does exist called the Ray Rifle, but he knows nothing about it. Very interesting. Will we have another ray gun within this game mode? Who knows? Or maybe it's just the ray gun renamed. We'll have to wait and see. The next thing to note, my friend, friends, this is the biggest category, one of the biggest categories in here, is that there will be no gobblegum / elixir system, no microtransactions, kind of. There is no sort of gobblegum / elixir system for Cold War, at least at this point in time, and it's seeming like that will be the case for the final build. Microtransactions seem to be non-existent with the exception of the battle pass, which will be coming to zombies, as you guys already know, as I've told you in previous videos. Aetherium may have some sort of MTX effect or some kind of MTX assignment with them, meaning that maybe instead of, just playing zombies and earning a shit ton of Aetherium to upgrade your classes and stuff like that, you may be able to just drop, I'm just putting a random number out there, $1,000, and upgrade and, get a shit ton of raw Aetherium and then get flawless Aetherium with that and kind of upgrade each and every single class immediately right off the bat. Now, typically microtransactions are not in the game as soon as you buy it. They typically take a little bit to get in, even when in terms of the battle pass. But regardless, I think that this is definitely possible, but I don't know. But just keep in mind that it is definitely possible that although there are no microtransactions at all in zombies at this point in time, it is very possible that they can incorporate some kind of system in with with Aetherium and have microtransactions kind of not necessarily dominate, but definitely play a part in that area. Next up, we have the Dark Aether. Okay, so you access the Dark Aether through the orb in the main room. If you guys remember in the trailer, there was this giant glowing purple orb in the trailer. You can only stay in there for a limited amount of time, and inside the Dark Aether, there are pieces for the Pack-a-Punch machine in which you have to bring back to build. The Dark Aether orb will also move around the map, and there are also small Dark Aether crystals, which contain drops that you can get. We're not exactly sure what those drops are or anything like that, or at least they weren't explicitly stated here, but you're going to be able to go into this Dark Aether portal, which you've already seen within the trailer itself, and that's where you're going to get some pieces for Pack-a-Punch and presumably do some Easter egg stuff and just get some stuff that you normally wouldn't get on the base map. Oh yes, guys, we have more. Now we're going to be moving into salvage. Salvage is the new currency obtained in a game of zombies. In the spawn outside of Nocturne and Toten area with the tank, there is a pre-built crafting table that sits in the corner next to the building. It can be seen in one of the original leak pictures that came out. I don't really know. Oh, okay. So whatever. Anyway, salvage is the new currency obtained in a game of zombies, and it's going to be basically, I guess, usable in the spawn area of the map. And he says, okay, so he goes on to say you can use the salvage at the crafting table, which again he notes, I guess, is in the spawn area. You can use the table. You can use this salvage at the crafting table to craft multiple different items. Okay, so from lethals, frag grenades, Semtex, C4, Molotovs, and tacticals, you can craft those all at this kind of crafting station using salvage. You can also now earn monkey bombs through crafting. Support equipment can also be crafted here, but I don't have exact details yet. Nanicles goes on to say, salvage also has another tier level which allows you to upgrade the rarity of your weapons. This also ties in with the next thing he's going to talk about. And I do think it's important to note that it's still a little bit confusing on exactly how salvage is going to work. So he says that salvage is going to be the new kind of in-game currency, or maybe this is going to be the new kind of point system, or maybe it'll be an additional thing to the point system. We don't exactly know yet, but it's seeming like that you're going to be using salvage. You're going to go to a station and you're going to be able to craft certain things or obtain certain things. So you're going to be able to craft monkey bombs using the salvage. But will we have to pick up parts around the map, then use salvage to craft it? Or will we just kind of go up to this machine, for example, something like a perk machine, pay an amount of points, and get what we want from this kind of salvage machine? You know what I mean? It doesn't sound like that. It sounds like a buildable station. So the exact details will have to be worked out, but that's very interesting to see. But another important thing to note is that within the zombies reveal trailer itself, at one point we saw our characters, or one of the characters, shoot a zombie and something popped out of him. It looked like a literal score streak that popped out of his head. So maybe that's how we're going to be earning not only salvage, or maybe again if salvage are points in this game, but also how we're going to be earning different parts for different things, like some kind of score streak or something like that. Well, again, we're going to have to wait and see. This is just me speculating now, but yeah. Well, actually, if I scroll down a little bit more on this page, and Nanicles actually goes on to note that salvage is the thing that we see dropped out of his zombies in the Cold War Zombies first look trailer. So as I mentioned, when you shoot a zombie, or when one of the characters shoots a zombie in the trailer, something pops out of him that looks like a score streak. That right there is apparently actually salvage. So maybe you'll have to collect 3 salvage, and with that you'll be able to build something else. Again, I don't really know. None of us really 100% know yet how everything is going to be interconnected, because this game is so deep. But just note that you'll be able to earn salvage by killing and playing zombies, and we're gonna have to wait and see exactly how this works. So I am assuming that salvage is going to be separate from the point system, and rather just going to be drops from zombies. Okay, moving on to the next thing, armor. Armor is another new mechanic that has been added into zombies, as we just discussed, and it works similar to Warzone. You can have 3 armor plates at once, and armor can be upgraded 3 times at armor stations around the map. JUGG has a theoretical 10 hits from a zombie with fully upgraded JUGG and armor. So I guess this goes on to confirm that yes, Juggernog does increase your base health, but on top of that allows you to get armor, and then on top of that, your armor can be upgraded. Interesting to note. So although this is going to be some kind of World War II Zombies-esque armor system, it's going to be the World War II Zombies-esque armor system incorporated on top of JUGG, which is entirely fine, because that was my biggest issue with World War II Zombies, is that if you got hit by a zombie, so for example, say you were a 5 hit down, you had max armor, if you got hit by a zombie twice, or 3 times, I believe, yeah, it would take away one of your armor hits, meaning that instead of being a 5 hit down, you were actually, or however many hits, a 6 hit down, you were just 1 hit less from your max amount of hits down. So say, for example, I got hit again, you know, say I got hit 5 times from the point that they already took away one of my armor, that would insta-down me. That would not insta-down me, but you know, that would down me because I didn't have full armor, and that was really annoying. So the fact now in Cold War Zombies that we have an armor system on top of JUGG, I think that's going to work out just perfectly. I don't have an issue with that whatsoever. My just main complaint with the World War II Zombies armor system is that the zombies were really annoying. They'd slap you up if you even got red, or not even red screen, if you even just got hit twice or whatever it was, 3 times, they take away one of your armor, and it was so annoying, and that was it. And you had to rebuy your armor, and it maxed out at 10,000 points. So although armor is coming back, it is an addition to the JUGG system, meaning that if you have 0 armor, no armor at all, you at least have JUGG's base abilities, which is perfect. And then armor on top of that will just make you even more OP. But anyways, he goes on to say that there is also an armor station, which I also know nothing about, which, okay, interesting to note that there's going to be different armor stations. And he says, from what I've heard, I believe the station also feature, from what I've heard, I believe the station also a feature that is somewhat tied into the other tier of salvage I mentioned before. Okay, so that wasn't correct English, but again, not to take away from Nanicos at all, I could also be reading some stuff incorrectly. Just big shout out to him, big thanks to him. You know, I'm just kind of reading through this. I've been doing this for over an hour now, reading through this whole thing, regardless of how long the final video turns out to be. Just again, keep in mind that stuff may start to go a little bit crooked, and I'm sure it took him a while to type this up as well. And basically what he's saying here is that there will be different armor, or yeah, there's going to be armor stations, and there's going to be stuff tied in with salvage as well, so you're not going to be able to only use salvage to get different weapons and lethals and monkey bombs, stuff like that, but you'll also be able to use salvage to, I guess, mess around with the armor system, upgrade armor, get more armor, stuff like that. We're gonna have to wait and see. And this is where we're gonna conclude this video right here, my friends. In the other section, he says that zombies drop random loot whilst playing. These range from armor plates, grenades to kill streaks such as the chopper gunner, and of course more. He also says that he checked some stuff last night, and the freaking jetpack is actually a real thing. He has no clue how it's gonna work. There's a buildable bench at the bottom area where the machine is. He's not sure what it's for. So apparently there's gonna be some kind of jetpack, ma'am? I don't exactly know what this means, but okay, just an interesting to note. That's why it's in the other category. He also says that there is a mini map. He's not sure if you can toggle it, and that there is a compass like Warzone and Modern Warfare, and he's not sure if you can toggle this either. And what I do want to say is that within the beta for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, you were able to toggle this for, or you were able to toggle a lot of different things in the beta. So I'm also assuming that within zombies, you will be able to toggle certain things. And maybe, who knows, maybe even if the mini map is used for the Easter egg, maybe it would just then reappear on your screen. But I guess that would be giving away too much. But I guess, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. We don't 100% know for sure if it's going to be toggleable, but it does seem like that it will be. Anyways, the final thing that he brings up here is that zombies have health bars and also have health damage numbers when you shoot them. He cannot personally confirm if this is still a thing, and all I have to say is I personally highly doubt that. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, that's gonna be it, my friends. Make sure if you did enjoy this video and you are excited for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Zombies and you want to be subscribed to the channel with the absolute most elite Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Zombies guides, videos, tutorials, and we're gonna have the most fun here, make sure you hit that sub button as well as turn on those notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have an awesome day.
I've been wishing for some better days.